Welcome to the Idle Hand Society podcast, a community for creatives. My name's Dan.
I'm Paul.
I'm Mark.
That was seamless. I didn't know how we were going to roll with that. Paul, so far today, I've rescued Leonard, bless him, was stuck between a bike and like an exercise bench or something. But just when I went back in your house a minute ago, do you know what else I rescued? Your Hoover was tidying up your garden.
Oh
I nearly tripped over it. I was like, what is this thing? I thought,
That's what that light was outside. I could see a light going around the garden. I was like, either Leonard's got hold of a torch, and he's just trying to find his way around the garden with the torch.
That's the problem with it. It doesn't see the boundary of where you can do it. I'm being a bit lazy.
I like it though.
Yeah, it's good. Let it go clean the patio as well.
Yeah, well, the patio looks lovely now.
Yeah. Wonderbar. How are we all then?
Yeah, man. Good. It's been nice. We've been out here all day. We've like tidied up. We set up those cameras.
Yeah, we're closing in now on.
I say where.
Yeah,
it's Roman.
Yeah, well, the French
Roman
boy.
Kardashian is.
Yes, he's put his body weight in sweat and toil.
Tears, a lot of tears,
frustration, swearing in French.
Yeah,
I don't even know what he said, but
right? I know it was bad.
Yeah, he gets upset quite easily, but that's okay. You know, he's at that age where he's temperamental and fragile. This feels a bit weird, doesn't it? Like you're on a video in my studio that...
Do you know what it feels...
3 months ago was just a pregnancy inside your tummy, right? It was an idea that it wasn't even born. And here we are, we're sitting in a room.
Do you know what feels weird? Is normally we'd be doing exactly this. Yeah. It would be exactly this, but there'd just be no cameras or lights.
Yeah.
That would be the only difference. And it's just weird. There's something about a blinking red light over there that makes this feel slightly higher pressured than just having a chat with some mates over a...
I'm all right because I can't see the screen over there that you two can see.
Yeah, I can see it.
I
and
can't see anything
it's
that's
seared
going
into
on.
my eyes right now.
Yeah.
Every time I move my head, I see.
I think it's going to take a little while to relax into our natural form, as they say.
I hope we never relax. That's my wish for us.
Like a tense bum cheek that you're clenching all the time.
Yeah, that's really what I hope for us.
I do a lot of clenching.
Yeah.
Like tell me your worst poo story.
You're talking about, normally you'd be like an F4 guy, but this one's you're an F1.2,
you missed all. Should I tell you my worst poo story?
Oh my God.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. Yes.
You've kind of opened the door to that.
Let's open. I'm going to set the scene for you. Me and Ali had been traveling through Tanzania, and we'd been in the Serengeti, living in a tent literally for 6 weeks.
Okay.
So I smelt like the most horrible man alive. Right? I had washed, my armpits were alive.
Yeah.
We just washed with basically a bottle of water in the morning. Yeah, and it was amazing, like wonderful, beautiful. But we eventually got back to.
There's something about feeling unwell, like at home it's bad enough, but when you're somewhere unfamiliar, everything's amplified, right?
And you're sweating, and you can feel the fever kicking in a bit, and your tummy's going anyway. So we get back to sort of civilization, and we have to get a cab to where we were staying, and a white Mercedes turns up, and with white leather seats, right? And the guy loves his car. The whole time he's telling me and Ali about how he saved his whole lifetime to get this Mercedes, and he did it custom.
No.
And the seats are what I am telling you, and I'm guessing a pair of shorts, right, and a t-shirt.
What colour are shorts?
I want to say white, but they were. I think they were. I can't remember if I'm honest.
Okay.
Detail, but I can remember halfway through this journey, my tummy beginning to go. And I poking. I'm going to shit myself. You can't. Stop. And he's telling me, I'm not going to put one of my accents on. He was telling me, this is my favourite car, it's my life savings. Anyway, all of a sudden now, it's like not just one. It's every time you fart, you think it's going to be a dry fart, but it's not a fart.
There are shockwaves reverberating.
It's an explosive poo, and it's all it's come down my short leg and gone all over the back of his seat, the driver's seat.
How? Wait. So the driver's seat's probably what, like to that table?
Yeah.
How is he? Carry on. I don't even know if I want to know.
I didn't want to get the poo on the seat. So I lifted my bum up like that to not be sitting on the seat. So and it shot down my ass. Short leg all over the back seat. And then all of us, I wound down the window pretty quickly. And then look, I was rubbing it with my fucking arm, and I got poo on my arm. And he was leaving. He goes, I'm sure I can smell something. You're like, no, honestly, like, let's go, guys. Let's go. So yeah, poo, mate. It's a life thing.
I can't match that at all. I've got nothing.
I've got nothing.
Come on, you must have.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but like,
you're not going to leave me out there on the island.
I actually think that we need to end the episode there because we're not going to top that.
Yeah, it's going to be. We could end with this. We remember editing is a powerful tool.
No, fuck it. We did just let it run.
Yeah, we just got to let it go.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a strong opener. Yeah. If you're not, what is it your son said earlier? You got to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification. So do all those things.
Oh yeah.
Because you need to hear more stories like this.
Yeah, I've got an archive of them. They're all, they're deep within there, mate. Sometimes they come out.
They're mostly factual.
Maybe that's your opening question for guests, right?
Yeah, tell me.
Maybe that's the opening question for guests. Worst per experience.
Yeah, it's a good one, right? It's definitely an icebreaker.
Yeah, it's yeah.
So let's a shit breaker. Let's talk about. I think let's introduce because we got Mark here and we haven't even said much about why Mark is here. He's just sat opposite us. And you being the rude Kent boy that you are, no manners. My wife would say...
We never made it round. I'm sorry, Mark.
No, fine.
But Mark is part of the Idle Hand Society.
He is the Idle Hand Society.
Shouldn't really need any introduction.
He's the glue that keeps us together. He's the socks that I wear in the cold. He's the cheese in my bacon sandwich.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I think we were onto a winner before.
But yeah, so it's lovely to have him on board.
It is. It's nice. It's
sincerely.
It's very nice to be here.
Lovely to be here, you cunt. Sorry. No.
But you've been helping out, right? We're talking about community stuff.
I've got his manifesto down. See it on those, and I've got his zine. See on my little zine.
Well, we can't release it before the incident happens with the manifesto.
What's the incident?
Well, like the news will probably know before most people. We won't really.
Is that where we have to do the sacrifice with Mark's balls?
Yeah, that's the one. No, you've been helping out with the shaping up what the community will be and that kind of stuff. Because that's what we want, right? That's the dream. Is we want it to be more of a community-led thing rather than just me and Paul sat chatting in front of.
Yeah, and I think there's I think due to life and circumstances, I think there's to build momentum over a period of time. We realize that one of the main breaking points for us was Daniel was finishing university and he was an incredibly busy year last year. But on top of that, every time we had to set up and put it all away, and it was quite painful. And now we have a space, you can see that we're in it. And now we can pretty much record any time of day or night, because even if it's a weekend...
Well, it's dark right now.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the time is, but it's dark. Yeah, it's this is an amazing thing. And maybe we can do this like every month or so. We come in here and do some stuff, but we want to do some more stuff out and about as well.
Yeah.
Just because it feels very I don't know. It's nice. It's nice to have just a bunch of friends just to sit down and chat, but sometimes it's nice to go on a bit of a walk, get some fresh air.
You like going outside, do you?
I don't have much, mate. No.
No. When was the last time you took a photo for your personal work?
Oh, actually, you'd be impressed with me because I've been looking after the dog.
Yeah.
For Katie, Tanya's little sister. I've been out. I've been taking photos.
Yeah, you've been taking photos of that.
I'll just More Medway Flow Softly stuff, like
local.
landscapey. Yeah, loaders of landscapes.
Okay. How's your Lancet game? Is it improving, do you think?
No. No.
Here's a question. Do you think, because you must have watched landscape videos on YouTube just like me.
Yeah, but these people are like patient and they're doing research and they understand the environment.
Do you think, and I wasn't going to say gear helps, but like portrait photography is a specific skill, landscape photography is equally a specific, food photography, all of these different areas of photography take a certain level of, before you begin to see the image, right? There's like that bell curve, where you sort of, and I think landscape photography is a hard one. It takes a lot of.
You've got less control, haven't you?
Yeah.
In landscape photography, you don't control the environment in the same way you would do in the studio.
And there's a lot of cliches as well, right? There's a lot of oversaturated and HDR type stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know about you, but I just want it to look like it looks. I don't need it to be like.
I like landscape photography, but it's not something that I go out of my way to do.
Who do I need to be looking at? Like, Ansel Adams is the only person I really know, and I love his work. There's some Don McCullen stuff.
So there's a couple of contemporary guys. There's a couple of guys on YouTube. So there's a guy called Tom Heaton.
Robert Mizrach is great. There's another one. I'm trying to think what his name is.
So Tom Heaton on YouTube's good.
Yeah.
He goes out and travels, and you get the whole experience with him because he talks about like the getting up early in the morning, checking
he's
the
talking
weather.
about the practicalities.
He's talking about,
of
but
doing
also
the
kind
thing.
of like he looks at it from the creative perspective as well. So he's looking at kind of like for him what makes a good photo.
What books do I need to buy?
Oh God, I don't know. I don't have many landscape books.
See, this is the thing. Like, I've got loads of books. I do have it's the Don McCullen book that literally everybody has. I don't know. You've possibly even got it out here, but like that's got his. I know he did a load of landscapes.
One, that book. There.
Yeah, I liked the Todd Hyde one. That was cool. It's very moody, right?
Yeah, but I don't know about I don't know about you. As much as I like his work, and I do like his work, certain parts of it, I also find that seeing the same image repeated, like over and over and over.
Yeah.
Just gets a bit boring for me.
I think as well. There's something about your sort of definition of what constitutes landscapes. So I'm
so uneducated.
Urban landscapes.
Yeah, so you've got your traditional. I'm in the mountains and there's sunsets and rivers and leading lines and all that. But I've got a book by William Christenberry called Kodachromes. And I would consider that landscapes because it's shots of the environment of where I believe it's where he grew up, and it's taken over time. So he would like go back to the same areas and landscapes and buildings and environments that from his hometown and just shoot them and how they changed over time. But I think there's an element of that is, you're shooting a static scene. There are landscape elements in there, so that you could consider that a form of landscape photography, I think. But yeah, it's like anything, isn't it? It's like all photography, isn't it? You can kind of, there's no hard and fast rule for it. It's like you talk about street photography. Street photography it's not hard and fast as to what constitutes street photography.
But I just think so with street photography, I don't know a great deal, but I know a few people and I have influences. Like and the work I do, I have influences, and I think the more influences you have, the more you can draw on, and the less it will look like you're just copying one other person. And I think at the minute, I've got two people that take landscapes that I kind of like, and I don't really
are the same.
I don't really. I've never paid enough attention to really sit and think about what is it about their work that I like over something else.
Yeah,
I'm so far out of like the landscape thing that I just think that everything I take looks a bit rubbish. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I think you take quite a decent landscape from definitely the work you did with Islanders. I mean, there's some beautiful landscapes in there, and they're considered like, like I think I think the edges of the frame, the leading lines through the frame from the front to the back, the depth, there's tiny things. There's like ND filters and grad filters. There's all sorts of types of filters that they use. You can go on and you can get tripods that give you, and you can have tilt shift lenses and all sorts, right? It's endless.
We were talking yesterday about focus stacking.
Focus stacking.
We both know what it is, but we wouldn't know how to do it.
Yeah, it's relatively easy though. It's not.
But there's if you made a panorama and you were stitching stuff in Lightroom, there's literally a button that does it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the level of idiocy that I operate on. So if there's a button that just goes press that, and then I get the panorama. That's exactly what I need. I need that, but
there's a couple of guys, I can't remember names. It's like you get to a certain age and just fucking names and everything just disappear from your head. But there's a couple of guys I watch. There's a guy called Nick Carver or something like that, who's a US photographer, and he shoots large format, and he will shoot big large format
to get really
images.
Into large format.
And there's quite a few people out there that are shooting large format landscapes. I think that's quite interesting. The idea that, because that's properly, you've got that. Especially if you're choosing to shoot the more traditional style landscapes where you're looking at, you've got that kind of environmental. You've got to consider the weather, and you've got to consider the clouds and the mists and everything like that. And then you've got this large format camera, which is going to force you to take a lot more time as well. So it feels like a lot of work for me.
But I think maybe that's kind of what I need.
That's the problem.
And it's the getting up before the sun comes up.
This is the thing.
To get to the position so that when the sun comes up, you're there when the sun comes up.
Well, that's why I love this thing. I don't want to have loads of stuff with me. I don't want to be...
That's what I found. I've just gone out and shot some stuff recently. And the joy of photography for me is actually being able to just wander and see the world, right? And fundamentally, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And the more gear, the heavier your camera, I think the less I will be willing to do it.
Yeah.
And I think I want the least amount of barriers. I think I've got to that point in my life. And I would love to shoot film, and I will shoot a bit for my family, and I'll take that F1 Nikon out. Sometimes. But you know what? The more, I think, it's weird, isn't it? I think the best times I've had with a camera was that little Fuji X100 or what was F? It was
that's the one that it's
fixed lens one, yeah.
It's a little bit like this thing, but it's just
smaller.
Lens, right?
And this is the most fun I ever had with a camera. And I think actually, we get lost, don't we, in gear? I think it can be a distraction fundamentally.
We had this conversation on the way up here. I like stuff. I enjoy having things that tools
shiny
that
things.
Yeah, it's not so much that it's shiny. It's just I like having a tool that does a job.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like, particularly as a jobbing photographer, I'm shooting a bunch of events, and it's there's like a really specific lane, and I don't like buying gear. I don't like carrying too much gear. So you end up getting really I can do my work with this one bag of stuff.
Carrying less.
Carrying less.
Best,
oh my god, yeah,
isn't it? It is though. It is. It's fundamental.
I say that as a man that sometimes has
you play into the idea of slow is better, right? And you.
I don't know if you're working on an event.
Slow is a state of mind. It's not the camera you carry.
Oh yeah, you are 100% right.
Right.
Yeah.
You can still. Even I have a digital camera. I don't really think I'm still framing the same way with my same eye. I'm still thinking about the same, I might take more photos, right? I might click more frames, but fundamentally I'm still doing the same.
But I think for me, it's about what is the thing that you're doing at that exact moment, and what's the right tool to do that. Some cameras feel like a lot more...
absolutely, right? The process in themselves of using the tool is fundamentally... because of the number of steps involved in taking a photo and the time you have to
the amount of manual intervention you're having to do. And all that, I think, can really shape how you're working. And I'm not for a second saying you couldn't just do that with your mobile phone, right? You could have that state of mind. You're absolutely right. It's a state of mind. But some tools, and I'm sure it's the same for a painter with paintbrushes and stuff, just they do a thing that sure you could probably do it kind of well with another thing, but like that's what it's made for. It'll do that really, really well.
Yeah.
And I think that's, for me, that's what I look for in stuff. And just like you were saying, if you've got huge, great bags of stuff and you've got all these massive telephoto lenses and different height tripods and God knows what, like, and then you're in a tent, like, I don't know, I think it all sounds too much like...
Yeah. I saw this thing on the interweb this week where there's a camera that goes into the hot shoe, a digital camera goes into the hot shoe of your film camera, and every time you click the shutter on your film camera, it takes a digital photo for you on the digital. And I was thinking to myself,
who's that for?
Yeah, what's the purpose of the digital? Like if you're shooting, like, I don't know. I mean, is it like
a test print thing?
So this is something. So in my day job, this is something that really kind of frustrates me, which is, it's like, what you're trying to build, and why you're trying to build it. Like, what's the use case for this thing? Because people don't always consider what the use case for something is. It's like we're going to do this thing
because
we
can.
So AI, for example. Like, and I don't want to get into the whole AI debate, but suddenly people are like looking for reasons to use it and building things with it without considering the use case. AI is a tool, and it's the same as the camera. The camera's a tool. It's nothing more than a tool to help you do your job, and it should never get in the way of you doing your job. It should enable you to do the job that you're trying to do. And just as you've been saying, some cameras do certain jobs better than others, in the same way that some drills do better jobs. Some drills do certain jobs better than others. You know, you might have, if you want to drill a hole in the brick wall, you need a hammer drill.
Okay.
You don't need a hammer drill if you're going to drill a hole through a piece of wood. You just don't need it.
Right, okay, I'm with you.
So you kind of, like, the tool should be the right tool for the job, but it shouldn't get in the way of you doing the job.
Right.
And that's how I see it. But within that, there's a whole range of, like, you don't have to have the latest Sony, Nikon, whatever, because you just need the right type of camera for the job that you're trying to do. So if you want to shoot medium format film, there's fucking hundreds of
I go further than that.
Cameras.
I go further than that and say that. And this is what I love about photography is, and this is where we get to, we're all going to come back. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? This is what I like, I don't know, let's talk amplifiers on a hi-fi system as an example, right? There's separates, right? Like at the moment, when I first got it, I just had the what do they call it? The CD player and the streamer, and that was all in one unit. And you could plug the speakers directly into it, and it sounded okay, right? And then you had an amplifier to it, and then now it sounds fucking lovely. But you can have an amp for each speaker, and you can carry on, and you can improve it, and you can change it, and you can.
Yeah.
My point is, like, a camera like that Nikon Z9 takes a particular type of picture, and to me, out of all cameras I use, it's a really digital processed, quite a tight image, right? Whereas a film camera, a 35mm camera, there's it's got the film look of a.
Do you think it's a look thing? I don't know. The older I get, the less I think it's a look thing, and the more I think it's a workflow thing. For me, it would be the limitation of having. I'm guessing most of the time it's going to be like 30 something frames on it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's the process for me that.
Yeah, but this is where I get to with it as well. I think exactly where you are. I don't think I shoot more film in my personal work because there's two reasons. One, I quite like working quite quick and intensely.
Yeah.
So, like maybe 90 minutes to 2 hours maximum. And I like to focus that time. And I think film doesn't allow me to do that.
But there's another thing that you can do with film that for me is really appealing. And I kind of want to get back into film a little bit this year because of it. And it's just make analog processed end to end. Like no computers, no scanning. I just want to handprint black and white film. That was how I started photography. Is like when I was about 16 when you do GCSEs. Yeah. So I was like 16 A levels. It was an A level. 16 and just literally being in the dark room. And the first time I remember, like, you're basically shining a torch for a bit of like plastic or whatever, and then you get this paper that when you drop it in a liquid, something comes out.
Photograph appears, yeah.
And that to me was enough to like click that thing in my brain that just goes, yeah, this is cool.
That's cool.
And I kind of want to do that. I want to do that more this year because I spend so much time with work and whatever with digital photos. I just want something to feel.
But there is something beautiful in that process, isn't there? And there's something that using your hands. We talk about the hands again, but it's that idea of, we are also digitally wired, literally into the internet.
I'm spending all day with my eye like an inch from a tiny little TV. Like I'm done with screens.
And you miss the world as well. The world, like if you're always looking through the viewfinder.
Yeah.
Like you're almost like a bystander in a way, aren't you? You're on the periphery.
Mm. It feels like CCTV or something nowadays, doesn't it? Because you're not seeing the real world. You're seeing like a video of the real world.
So I got my first medium format cameras last year. Where the fuck it is? March. Yeah, last year.
How are you finding it?
I love it. So I've got a couple of Mamias. I've got a twin lens one.
I love that you went whole hog. You're not like, I'm going to buy a film camera. You're like, I'm going straight to medium format.
Yeah. Well, I had film cameras already, so I'd already got 35mm ones.
But when you jumped in the medium format pool, you did it both feet. You bought two cameras.
Two. I got the 6x6 square format twin lens.
That's the TLI, yeah.
Which is fascinating because you've got the whole thing where one lens is for viewing and focusing and the other lens actually takes photo, so you have to get used to that. And you've got the whole shit where everything's back to front.
Upside down, back to front.
They're not upside down are the ones I've got, but they are back to front. And I struggle with like direction anyway, so it's like I just spend fucking hours moving the camera left to right to figure out where the hell I'm looking.
There is a point where it feels natural though, where you'll just be like, okay, if I just tilt my shoulders this way, it's going to pull that way across the frame, and it starts to feel way more natural. But those first couple of times you do that, it's horrible.
It's disorientating.
What I really like is they've both got waist level viewfinders. So neither of them have got kind of like the eye level viewfinder ones, so they're waist level viewfinders. So you're looking down, but you're also able to look at the scene. You kind of, I quite like that about it. It's like I actually look up and look at the scene because once I've got it in focus and once I've composed it, I'm just you can just look and wait for it. So if it's a landscape or if it's a kind of a static scene, that's pretty straightforward. But you can wait for the light. You can wait for the light to actually. You can look
wait
at
the clouds to do the thing.
And you can actually be.
You feel
what's
a bit
going
more
on
like
in the environment,
open to the to the thing,
which is quite nice. And I think that's something about it. So I've shot digital for years, and just stepping away from the viewfinder a little bit and actually just being in the environment more. I know there's something about there is something about it's whether it's slowing down or just being a little bit more considered, or just the consideration that it's fucking more expensive.
Yeah.
So actually
that will slow you down real quick.
Take more care.
Especially when you click, that's £5.
That's £5, yeah. So you take more care.
Yeah.
And on, medium format, I get on my the 6x7, I get 10 shots out of a roll of film.
What does that work out a shot? So how much is a roll of film now? It's like 18 quid?
Yeah, a roll of...
Developing...
I've started loving Fuji Acros 100, which is beautiful. It's really sharp, contrasty, lovely film.
Yeah, you were showing me stuff the other day and it looked great.
Yeah. And that's... so my local place back in Lincoln where I'm from, I think they charge about £12-14 a roll.
Okay, that's pretty good.
You're looking at £1.20, £1.40 a frame.
Yeah,
it's probably another.
And then you're doubling that for
probably another
scanning and
to get it
developing if you're sending it somewhere.
So you're looking at probably about £2.50 a shot, £2.50 a shot.
Yeah, that will sharpen your mind real quick.
But that's £2.50. That's like Yeah,
but every time you click that shutter twice, you're like, that's a coffee.
That's the other reason I don't think I take enough good photos for it to be economical for me either. Like, that's the truth of it, isn't it? Like when it comes down to it is a financial implication as well.
But I think if you're going out with the intention of making work that you're happy with, and you know how expensive I guess you're right. It could slow you down to the point where you just don't take any photos. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you're almost paralyzed by the cost because it's so prohibitive, right? It's like
that's why I stopped in university. Mm-hmm. Everyone else really went for it with their analog, and I don't know how people are affording it. It's crazy. Like
having your own dark room, and maybe you should get a shed in your back garden.
I haven't got. Yeah, if I had the space, I would do that. But there's a community dark room not too far from me.
Okay.
And they're run by some really amazing people. So I need to go join that. That's what I need to do. But then it's 50 quid a month. It's a nice space. It'll force me to go do work in there because it's away from my house. It's like a 15, 20 minute
I was
drive.
thinking the type of like, sorry, I completely talked over you, but I was thinking like as the world becomes more fragmented and, you know, more wars and more, what type of work as a documentary photographer you should be making.
I fucking touch wood. It's not combat photography. Do you know what I mean? Like that. That's my worry, is that at some point it'll go horrible.
Well, it will be in the drone squadron, but because we can fly drones.
I can't fly a drone. Do you remember that one time I tried to fly your drone?
But that's where you do want to be in artillery or in the, like, you know, in the trenches with the boys.
Sorry, buddy. Just pop this.
Sorry, yeah, I fell down.
And then try and, if you can, yeah, you can do see that one here, the one closest to this hand. That's yeah, that one, or even better, the one next to your right hand.
This one.
Yeah. That's it. Get that nice and close to you, and try not to touch it. If it's not touching you, that'd be amazing, because you're going to get mic noise if it's touching you, or if you're touching it. I have to remember to cut that bit out. Yeah, I don't know. Last time I tried to fly a drone was like, I'll tell you when it was. You remember when I was shooting that thing in Slough with Haytham? Do you remember Haytham?
Yeah.
Oh, sweetheart. I flew a drone in Slough, and it literally, Paul said to me, he was like, it's going to whinge about the wind. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's good. And no sooner had I got a strong wind alert, I've turned around to my mate Haytham. It's fine. Paul said, this is going to happen. It's okay. And then before I knew it, it was just fucking off into the distance. And I could see myself getting smaller and smaller and smaller on the phone, on the thing. And Haytham's like, you need to fly it back towards us. It's going away. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And like, the wind's faster than the plane is, so it's not coming back. He goes, that's about 1 kilometre from my house. And I was like, it's not coming back. So eventually I just had to like drop it down into like an unsafe place, which is really good. This is why I don't have my license yet. And then just kind of navigated it back, but it was cutting in and out the whole time. So sometimes it'd come back, you'd go black, nothing, and then it'd come back on, and I just bounced off someone's roof, and then it would like restabilize, and then I just, through some miracle of
got it home,
fate, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I lost one in a river. I did once. So I was doing the Wandle. I took it. I thought I'd go and film some footage, just flying over the river. You know, nice. Anyway, you don't realise there's an updraft when you go over a river, right? So here's a tip that I never knew, but there's like
the air temperature changes, doesn't it?
So basically, you have this lift, and I didn't realise. So I was flying
straight into a tree.
I was flying along the river, and all of a sudden, I went, whee! Hit a tree, bounced onto the riverbank, and it rolled, and it was right on the edge of the riverbank, right? And he was just hanging there by his thread. And I thought, do I go and wade in and try and get it? And I thought, okay. So I rolled my trousers, took my shoes off.
Oh, it's already a paperweight then, though,
But we hadn't got in the water. It was on the, like, sort of.
Oh, okay. It wasn't in the water. Okay.
And I thought, okay, I'll go get it. And just as I got my shoes off, it went plum. And I was like, fuck.
At least you weren't in the water.
Yeah, I didn't have to get my shoes.
I nearly lost my camera in the river a couple of years ago. So we were on holiday in Wales. And we're walking across sort of just south of Harlock, a place called Llanbedr. And we're up at this river and waterfall, and we're kind of like trying to walk across the river. And all of a sudden, I must have just hit a slippery stone or something. I fucking went, and I just went. And I got my camera in my hand.
How quick did you just...
And my hand just shot right up. And honestly, my eldest son was running to try and save me. And all I could scream at him was like, just get the fucking camera. Take the camera.
But like... Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. It was cold, and it was very cold. And it was like
God.
fucking sharp rocks and everything. And I think I cut my leg, but all I cared about was my camera. And I actually I finally got out and started walking back to the car and stuff. And I realized my phone was missing.
Oh, no.
So my phone was in the river. So we went back and we found it. It was there.
But they're fine now, aren't they?
Yeah. And it was amazing. I took the phone out and it was still working out the river.
I wish my camera would do that.
Yeah.
I've seen so many like videos of, it's nightmare fuel, isn't it? You're at an event, you're walking backwards and boom, there's a fountain and you're in it.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen so many.
Yeah, I've done that.
You've done that?
Done that at a wedding in Italy. Yeah, my friends, they were good friends, and It was at their reception in their mum's house, and I was taking photos, and I was going back and back and back, and there's a fucking bloody, it wasn't a lake, but it was a
pond.
Pond, yeah, and both feet like going, like, and they lost. She's the Italian bride. Paul, you're so funny,
Not so funny now. I've lost your wedding photos.
Yeah, no, I didn't actually. My camera stayed dry. It was just my feet, but yeah. The best wedding.
Visions of you pouring water out of the lens.
The best wedding I went to was in Spain, and basically it was a pool. But by the end of the night, everybody was so pissed. They all took their clothes off.
Just got in the pool.
And they were all having they were doing a conga naked around the pool, and it was crazy. Have you got that yet?
No, I've not had that.
Naked conga is great.
Yeah, I've not had a naked conga yet.
That's when you know you've reached peak wedding, when you have a naked conga.
I'll retire the day I get the naked conga. I'm hanging up that.
And there's all bits, people like men and women behind each other in a line. Can you imagine? Come on and do the conga. There's like a lot of boobs and willies all dancing along to the music, and they're holding each other's waist, and they're hot and they're sweaty. I actually do have a photo. Well, I've got lots of photos. Some I can't even burn from my memory. Like they score. And you know, older people, unfortunately, everything begins to sag at a certain age, right?
When was this?
This was
2 months ago.
It's last week. No, a good 10 years ago.
Okay.
And everything, loses gravity, takes over, and unfortunately, it wasn't like young, nubile, beautiful girls, and it was older people letting go, shall I say?
Okay. That's good. That's good. It sounds like a good time.
If you were at the party with your missus?
No.
Would you take your clothes off?
No.
Even if you're really drunk?
No. There's not enough alcohol on the planet.
Not? Come on.
No. Absolutely not.
You don't want us to see your
You don't even need the alcohol.
You don't want us to see your
You would just do it.
You don't want us to see your ginger pubes.
No, I don't know.
What is it about it's only a bit of.
I know, it's weird, isn't it? Why have we got this hang up? I mean, we're all born nude. It's every animal you see is nude, but I don't know what it is. No, the answer is no.
I have no problem with you showing you my asshole.
I look forward to that later.
Chocolate star.
That's the after dinner entertainment.
That's what close friendships get you, bud.
I've rented a white Mercedes. I love that car.
White leather seats.
Yeah, let's have a little look at Mark's book.
Come on, Marky.
You've made a maquette.
Yeah, so I made a maquette.
Does it have a name?
Yeah.
No name.
No, okay.
No name yet.
Okay.
Maybe we'll figure that out in the course
Now,
of this conversation.
yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah. I think we should.
Okay,
The working title I had for it in the folder, my Lightroom folder that's got all the photos in, was called Built. It was built on slate.
Okay.
So I don't know. Bit of background. So,
let's have a bit of background.
I love making books. I've really got into like printing and making books.
You've made a lot of books recently.
I'm really enjoying it and enjoying the process of it. And there's some photos. So on the west coast of Scotland, about half an hour down the coast from Oban in Western Scotland, there's it's north, about 3 hours north of Glasgow. So you go kind of like from Glasgow up around Loch Lomond and then across to Oban, and then you come down the coast a little bit. And there's a body of water called the Firth of Lorne in Scotland. And within there's these islands. So you come off the mainland across this really high arch bridge onto an island called the Isle of Seal. And then from there you can take a ferry south to an island called Ling or Luing. It's spelled Luing. And then there's also a very small island called Easdale, which is very close to the Isle of Seal. And you take like a small ferry across. And Easdale's where they do the World Stone Skimming Championships.
Oh, amazing!
So it's like a big.
I'm really good at that.
Yeah, so it's like an
annual
worldwide.
What's your highest number? What you?
About 8, 9, probably.
Look at this guy. He's like just casually about 9.
I've done about 46.
You've done a 46.
You need to go to the World Stone Skimming
Hang on.
Championships.
No. What's the world record?
I don't know.
It's it's high. It's like 180 or 200. I swear.
There's actually a documentary on the iPlayer. I don't know if it's still on there. The BBC.
It's true, but honestly, these guys, they get this. It's all to do with the angle, right?
Yeah.
And I swear they can do like hundreds. I swear, 46s. Now in Wales, we spent all our summers on the river skimming stones. That's all we did, and we spent like it's to do with the weight of the stone, the how rounded
The hunt for the stone is part of the thing.
Yeah,
right?
it is. Yeah, it's a big part of it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But we've been going on holidays to this place. First time we ever went was in 2011. So the kids were still quite small. My boys were still quite small at the time. I think my eldest was 10 years old. So we've been going there. And it's a beautiful place. So I just started taking photographs. I think the first time I went, I had a Nikon D50, which was like a cheap plastic DSLR. And then I've gone back every year and I've taken my cameras with me and just shot and started shooting. It's back to the earlier conversation about landscapes. Actually, it's like I live in Lincolnshire, so Lincolnshire's flat, largely, and rural, like farming community, which is great. And there's some cool landscapes there, but it's completely different from where I live. So it's an opportunity to shoot something completely different. Yeah. And I just started shooting, and I've been shooting, and as I've been shooting, I've been thinking more about why I shoot. And it's kind of an old. So it used to be there used to be slate manufacturing islands. So they used to quarry the slate, and they used to turn them into roof tiles. And most of the houses in like the big cities in the UK and across the world, the slate would have come from this. Yeah. And it's really cool because if you go now onto the smaller island, Easdale, the old slate quarries are all there, but they're all full of water because over time the oceans come in and reclaim them, and it's like so you've got all these amazingly like huge pools, and they're really deep, and the water's really blue because the slate turns the water like really sort of blue. And then it's just so kind of I've been making books, and I've been getting into this idea of making books. I've been looking at there's a guy called Paul Tracy.
Yeah, I know Paul. Yeah.
Watching his videos on Instagram and YouTube, and just looking at how he kind of puts books together really simply using just tape and printing off his photos and just taping them together. So just kind of been learning how to do that and enjoying the process of doing that. And I had some time off work recently. And so I thought, I've got these photos and I've had them for a while, and there's something there. I don't know what it is. There's a project there. There's a story there. There's something I want to say about this place. So I just built this maquette, really. It was just But
this is early days, right?
Yeah. So this is me just having a go at printing the photos off and putting them on into some kind of format. There's still, I'm still not.
They feel different, right? When you can pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a different relationship to the image, right?
They're cool on a screen, but they don't feel.
And I have fun doing stupid things like so. My wife owns a fabric shop, so I've got access to kind of all kinds of fabrics and stuff. So just little things like making fabric covers and all that kind of thing, and just the whole process of it is just.
So tell us about the construction as we're talking about process.
Okay. So these are all printed on. It's an uncoated. It's not a particularly heavy paper, so it's like an uncoated. I think it's about 130 weight paper. So as I was printing, I was realizing that I could only really print on one side. So I thought, right, well, if I'm going to do that, you make what like an accordion book. So you basically print on one side, and what you do is you kind of see
glue all the pages together.
You use like binding tape and just
on the back of the
pages together. Yeah. And so it becomes this. And what's quite nice about it is, if you wanted to, I mean, you can't really.
That's basically you'd have to do it all the way down the garden, but you could.
I could pretty
around,
much like pull it all the way out into a film strip. And I'm not sure this is how I want to do the final book. If I turn this to a final book,
but in terms of like trying out ideas for sequencing and seeing what photos work and what maybe where you've got some gaps, like it's a really nice way of so much nicer than sticking it in a slideshow on your computer. Right?
Yeah, and I think it's just a way to there's the kind of, and one of the things that I've kind of, as I've been looking through the photos and thinking about kind of how you edit the photos for print for a book. So it's a whole, I'm not a professional photographer, so it's not my career. It's something I do just because, I love it. It helps me with my mental health. It's something that I enjoy doing for the process. So there's a lot of things for me to learn there. Learning how to edit to print, learning how to sharpen images to print, realizing that sometimes you over sharpen, realizing that sometimes you kind of so this one, Dan and you and I were talking about this yesterday. This one, there's like this large stretch of water here.
Yeah, in the digital, you can see the kind of seabed. I don't know if this is a lake or a sea or what, but you can see kind of through the water. And on the print, because there's just not as much.
Yeah, and it's just understanding that process.
Yeah,
so it's like learning that process of going, okay, well, do you know what? I actually probably need some, we talked about it probably needs a bit of grain or some texture in there. Or you think about the kind of paper that you print it on, so that you go, actually, if I printed it on a more textured paper, it might look
and also you can
area.
On the paper you've got, printer you've got, you can. I don't know if you know this, but there's a piece of software that allows you to control how much ink comes out of each nozzle.
Yeah, you told me that before.
Yeah.
So you can change the density of the ink and stuff. But this is kind of like, so this is just me sort of starting to tell a story of these 3 islands. And I think the one thing that was kind of at the back of my mind is that they're called the Slate Islands. So you go, okay, slate is quite a dark, grey, cold thing. It's often considered to be like cold and grey, and but there's a real warmth here in this place. There's a real colour, and I just love it. I love the colours, but I also love
it's a beautiful photo.
The time and the weather and the environment has done to those colours. So you look at something like this, and a lot of the colour comes from aging and time.
It's kind of muted and
but you've got
weather worn.
You've got these beautiful bright orange colours that come from rusting and so it's like there's a beauty and a softness to the place that time and the environment has given it, and that's reflected in the people. The one thing I've not got enough of, I think, is I've got some photos of the people that live there. I've not got enough photos of the people that live there.
So here's a question. So when you're taking a photo, right, and you're looking at a photo now, and you're examining Mark's photos, in terms of how you view the photo, are you viewing it as if you took the photo? Do you know what I mean? Like, is there, what's the language I'm trying to use? And so you're not third person, you're first person. So you get that, we stand off and we're looking at it now, but when you're looking at the images closely, do you imagine yourself taking them?
No, not taking them, but I imagine myself seeing them.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, maybe it's different for everyone. I've never really considered what it's like for anyone else. But when I look at photos, I'm viewing something that only one person in the world saw. Right? I'm not imagining what it would be like to.
No. This is exactly it. So this is why I think this is so important, and this is why when you talk about photographs that maybe are banal or boring or more complex, right? If you look at the images that Mark's taken, and I've only seen a few so far, but there's a lot of Mark in the photos now because we know Mark quite well, and this we've talked about it before, but because you know somebody and because we have a relationship with Mark, our understanding of the work that he's making.
But do you think Imagine This was by somebody we'd never met?
Yeah.
Would you feel a different kind of way about the photos, or?
No, I don't think so. But I mean, maybe. I think there's two things. There's when I look, like the pictures I've got on my wall from other photographers. There's some days when I'm sat down on the sofa and I'm just staring at them and I'm thinking, oh God, there's actually a person had to be there to take that photo. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's very difficult.
It's a reality, though, isn't it? It's a funny thing that you don't.
I'm not thinking about the photographer taking the picture. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm thinking about the picture. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
but there's a reality that means that that's how that
there is
picture.
Some Mark had to be there, stood in that space,
and even weirder, nobody ever saw that picture.
No, nobody.
Your camera blacked out for a second. You never even saw this picture.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
No human saw that.
So but it's so, and I had this idea of so Paul, you got me onto the sort of Japanese washi papers and origami papers, and so I thought, well, what would be really cool, and this is where it becomes fun, and this is where it's really like the whole process of just making a book. So it's like, what if slate's got texture, so what if I use texture paper? So this is on origami paper, and I thought, what if I use that as like a cover to another picture? So you kind of got that, a way of concealing something. So
It also forces people to touch it, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of the point.
yeah. So it's the process of pulling it together, but it's the
process of understanding how different textures elicit a different response.
yeah. And what's really interesting is like I see this as a process and as a learning process and as a
But
that's part of the fun. Part of the fun is just learning.
But if you understand the materials, then your knowledge again is an extra. It's another layer, isn't it? It's another quill to your set of arrows that you fire.
And you learn how important the edit is. And when I did the zine that I did before, I sent you the zine and you came back and you had so much useful feedback because it's like my edit is just my perception of the photos, but you need that. I always think
It's a 2 or 3 person job. I don't think there's a person on the planet that should completely work in isolation and not reach out.
And I this, like you say, this is like early stages, but now I've got so many more ideas about how I could take this work forward.
I like the wheelbarrows.
Making something different. Yeah. So on Easdale, the island of Easdale, there's no roads. So there's just a small ferry that comes across from the bigger island. And some of the people that live on the island have got their own boats and stuff. But ultimately, this is how they get their shopping and their furniture and crap to their houses. They have to put them in these wheelbarrows. So, I've got loads of photos of these from loads of different angles, it's really cool. And it just really speaks to it just kind of speaks to the island. It speaks to the people that are there. It speaks to kind of like this is their reality and stuff.
Sorry, food cheer, guys.
Okay, so we're back from our chicken break. This is the second break. We've had more interludes in this podcast than we've ever had before.
But it's quite nice, isn't it?
Just have a quick bit of chicken, come back, I'm refreshed. I could go for another hour.
Yeah, we could talk for
everyone
more.
through that.
Yeah, no, we're basically going to be going all night now. This is the first all-nighter.
How long? Seriously,
It was like
on a
half-time
serious
oranges.
note.
Yeah.
Imagine you're watching this now, and it's us 3 idiots.
Yeah.
How long do you really want to watch that for? Because now thinking about it objectively, I'm thinking like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We may have already gone on for too long.
We probably have gone on for too long, but I think what's really useful at this stage is we're testing the system to breaking point in terms of let's give it a few goes, let's see how it goes from a few clips.
And patience of any poor fucker that's watching us.
Yeah, and if they do stay till the end, it's basically a reward. There'll be, do you know what? The end of it, there'll be something, one nugget of information I'll take from
one dog nugget of information,
like a chicken nugget from McDonald's.
Yeah,
that we'll post to them. We'll buy some nuggets and we'll post them a cold chicken nugget. And we'll make a book out of it.
It always comes back to the book.
So we'll hollow out the inside of the chicken nugget.
Yeah,
and we'll make a tiny book that we'll place inside.
Can you print on a chicken nugget?
You probably could print.
Probably could.
Yeah, you could
Probably
probably
could
print. You could
print
probably
on anything, right?
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I saw a guy make a book printed on matchboxes, and he basically flattened them out, stuck them to a piece of paper, and then threaded the paper through.
Okay. So if you make it to the end, then you need to. I don't know. You're going to have to.
If you make it to the end,
you make a reference to something that only somebody that's watched the whole way through could make a reference to.
okay, you must say the wheelbarrow with the yellow wheels makes me go hard.
Wow.
in the comments.
In the comments.
Yeah,
and then Paul will send you a chicken nugget with
a tiny book inside.
a tiny book inside.
And I promise I'll do it.
He promises.
This is a promise.
It's a Bence promise.
Like, I'm so committed.
Oh God.
Anyway, we've diverged.
Sorry, we have diverged.
I don't know how we ended up in a nugget hole, but let's reverberate.
Talk to us about the wheelbarrows. I still think this
So
is
they
amazing.
basically don't have any cars. Why don't they have any cars then, Matt?
I don't know. It's just
What's wrong with them?
there's no roads there, right?
They've got cars.
No, but is it?
It's a tiny island. You can't get roads on the island. There's big fucking holes all over the place.
Have they got any vehicles with engines?
I seem to remember there's like a tractor that they used to pull some of the boats
so there
around.
is vehicle. He's lucky. There was no vehicles.
It's unraveling a web of lies.
Mate, documentary. You need to be accurate.
I need to see a picture of the tractor.
I have a picture of the tractor.
Okay, well, we need to see the
somewhere
picture.
I have a picture of the tractor.
Yes.
But yeah, no, they're just like.
No vehicles.
How do you keep the tractor topped up? There's
do you know
going to be
what?
no petrol station.
But we got to interrogate him I think he could be taking this down a garden path here.
Yeah. That is his garden path.
literally
That's his fucking
Oh,
path.
that's his wheelbarrow back to the
wheelbarrow.
garden. Sorry, Mark.
Are you fine? I don't know. Well, I don't know where I'm going now. Wheelbarrows.
I really like that people have to take their shopping home on these, and
it would annoy me. It's like going to
something simple.
It's like going to a festival, and the worst bit about going to a festival is having to carry all your shit to and from the campsite. You know, like you got to get everything there. You got to get your barbecue,
and then you're
your shower.
right. Okay, so on the grand scheme of everything that's wrong with a festival, you are ranking that higher than the toilets.
I don't care about the toilets.
The toilets are the stuff that nightmares are made of.
No, I don't care. I go in there, I'm shitting, I'm pissing, I'm out the door, thanks very much. Sometimes I'm pissing against a tree because nobody cares. It's freedom. It's like being like an animal.
It's like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Do you know, I actually think, I was thinking in terms of life experiences, I think a festival is up there as like, you feel like a live, thriving human being. There's something about being like up at 2 o'clock in the woods and you can smell
with somebody shouting the word Alan over and over again. It's the worst. I hate festivals.
My favorite.
Oh my God.
My favorite festival experience was me and my wife had gone to the Green Man. I think it was. It might have been anyway. We'd gone to a festival, and it was like 3 a.m, and we'd gone back to our tent. And we were in our tent, and we were just about going off to sleep. And he was like, or you could you in the back, like, hey, oh, I was like, what the fuck? And you could just hear this. It was not loud enough that you could make out what it was being said.
It was a sound of desperation.
It was a muffled desperation, a muffled desperation. So eventually, I opened the task. Like, this is bothering me. I can't sleep. Fucking bastard.
What time? So what time in the morning?
It's like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Okay,
like, it's early for festival.
It's way too early to be.
Yeah. So anyway, as I got closer, I go, I need milk. I need it, Mum. I'm really desperate. I need some milk, man. I think I'm dying. So I could hear this teenage boy on the phone to his mother, telling her that he was dying. So I said, Ali, give me some milk, babe. So he poured milk into a glass. And I take it into it. I open this and I said, excuse me, mate.
He's like, there's a Welsh angel here.
And he opens it and he goes, my mum, my God, there's a man who's just brought me some milk.
Can you imagine being?
It's
3 in the morning and your kid's calling you about milk.
Yeah, like I think he was having heartburn. He wanted something, and like because he'd taken ecstasy. So basically,
Paul Bence, fastest milkman in the West Country.
He's the fastest one. Right, come on, turn the page, Mark. Come on.
Oh, we need to.
Oh,
yeah.
So let's talk about the bike.
It was just there. It was just abandoned. But again, it's just about the colour and the aging. It's somebody's left it.
It's been there a while as well.
Eye. Yeah,
you see the grasses going through it. It's a kid's bike though, right?
Yeah, it's a kid's bike. And you can see with the this one and what the weather and the environment's doing to the colours.
I wonder if there's
it's just a softness to it.
But I wonder if there's another way, because I kind of, maybe I'm reading too deeply into it, but like it looks like what you're trying to show here is that people's private lives, because it's a small community, kind of spill out.
Yeah.
Everybody's just spilled out into the landscape, right? I wonder if there's other things you could show us as well that would help reinforce that.
There's loads. I've got there's pictures in there of like dolls that have been left in the in communal areas and stuff. It's almost like people. It's almost like kids go out and play and just drop things where things are just left
and
where they're finished with them, and they'll be there
back.
when they come back. Yeah.
The only
money, drawing money.
There's money on this. There's one of the pubs, and it's just money that's stuck to the ceiling of the pub. I just thought it was something I've not seen before. There's a place called the Oyster Bar, and it's just the nicest little pub. They've got fucking whiskies galore, which is great for me. And yeah, there used to be a brewery underneath, so they used to brew all their own beer. For the first time we went, they had their own brewery, like just microbrewery in the bottom. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just that feels like
I feel like I want to see some
home.
portraits in here.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like I want to see portraits. Maybe with someone like in front of the bar,
Yeah. Yeah. It needs... I think
the
it needs
landlord
more
or something.
people.
Maybe.
I'm not sure about this one.
What's the toilet seat?
For the darts league.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms up, yeah. Yeah, they like the darts. That's another one that's printed on the origami bit. And I like that. It's the Welsh dragon in Scotland. I just thought that was kind of interesting. He's obviously been there a
It's
while.
nice on this origami, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like the way it absorbs the ink.
Yeah.
Just so we're not like kind of plowing through this and doing it like literally a page at a time, I think we need to talk about endings.
Yes.
And talk about, let's not even bother looking at the last photo because I know we had a chat and like you're keen to change it and stuff, but let's talk about like, so if you're thinking what it is you're trying to say,
What the intent behind the work?
how do you want to leave it?
What's the
punctuation at the end?
What's the message? What are you trying to communicate?
I don't know. I'm not sure. That's part of the problem. It's like I've got a body of work.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I was reading something from Alex Soth earlier, and he talks about like intent and how that intent can change when you start to take photographs, and how you can sort of like build a body of work and things can start to change. And your intent, you might have an intent at the beginning, but it all changes when you start to look at the photos and start to pull them together into a body of work. I know I've got a body of work. I know there's themes that run through it. But I think the thing that I for me, I like the idea that in a place that's supposed to be, you would expect to be cold and dark. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not cold and dark. It's colourful and it's bright and there's warmth there. And I think the other thing is kind of the way that time and the environment kind of just shape the landscape.
I think maybe this might be quite interesting with a little more formal portraiture.
Yeah, I think so.
Because you've spoken a lot about the community and the people that are there, and it's probably the one thing that isn't in the photos. And I think there's probably maybe 3 people in the entire maquette so far.
Yeah, and some of that's confidence of actually just going up to people and asking them if you can take.
You've got the chops though. You could do it.
Yeah, probably.
You've got the chops.
I do think it is there. It is doing one, and you got this. That was you get one good, and then something interesting. There's a photo book here. See that one there, Dan? What says we?
I've just blocked myself right in. Hang on, where am I looking?
I can see this. I can get it.
You're not close enough to your mic anyway. Just looking at it, I don't think we're going to hear you, mate. Are we leaning forward again?
Yeah, just for a minute, because I can talk. It's called "We Were Before the Wind" by
Yeah, let's show this one.
Henri Prestige, I think. Yeah. Let's move Stone Soup out of the way.
Like there, I guess, once you open it.
Yeah. And this is interesting because it got me thinking about the absence of a person and a person in a landscape. So, like when there's it's just a single figure in the foreground or within the frame versus a person not being there. And I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let you look at the images and tell me which one you prefer. Right? It's just it's obviously it's very subjective. So it's no. But have a look. Just turn the page and have a look at a few pictures. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So there's a lot of photos with like either one person or 2 people, usually one actually on the whole, but there are the occasional landscape where there's not the person doesn't exist in the frame, right?
Suddenly forgotten how to use books.
It's all right. I always feel the same. Like, and
there's something really like breathtakingly cinematic about the way this is all been post-processed.
But my problem with it, and
It's very ethereal, isn't it?
is that
It's got that kind of.
it feels forced to me.
Is it?
Yeah, it feels like.
How comes?
Like I don't.
You don't think that you don't believe that the people would be there?
Yeah,
You
I think that he's got what do we call them?
Some friends that he's
A
put in
friend or
photos.
a mate or something.
He's, like, bumped into
I
somebody.
don't believe that girl was in that red coat in those trees at that moment in time. I think.
Does it matter though?
Yeah, well, this is the question. That's where I got to. Like, does it matter that it's not real? It is real because it existed in time and space. But
the way it's processed is kind of, like you said, it's like ethereal. It's kind of dreamlike. And I wonder if that's kind of the point.
I've got two questions. Does the see? My problem is the person in the frame for me just makes it. It takes that idea of you suspending your belief about the photograph, and then this is just a personal. I thought when I looked through it, and I'm like, I think I would prefer the frame without the person. Like, I love the landscapes that they've taken.
Is there a person in every frame?
There's a few throughout the book where they're not a person, and I think you'll see that. I might be wrong, but I think it's better without.
It's very person heavy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I could argue. Yeah, but it's still a figure in the landscape, right? I think I could argue back and forth. The person in person out. I don't know. It gives you like a scale.
But
to
landscape
place.
photography and the person in the frame as almost is a cliche in itself now, because it's
Everything's a cliche though, isn't it? Like there's that book, isn't there? Like things you can't do in photography, and it just lists everything you could ever do. It's everything that I don't know. It's all been done, right? It's all been done. So we just need to accept that and move on. And do you still like to make photos? Do you still like to print them? Do you still like to see other people that have done it?
I still love to see other people who printed and made
So
the
I
work.
guess we just need to, I don't know, the idea of a cliche, unless you're going to go real like old man camera club and take a macro photo of a flower and just have it be like really generic and like, I don't know. But like this, it doesn't feel like old man camera clubby. It feels like...
No, but my question to you is... the question stands the same. Do you prefer the landscape photographs with a person or without a person? For me, I found I love this photograph. Like his use
There's
of
still
color.
a person in it because there's a car, right?
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, there's not an actual silhouette of a man from behind, or
I get you.
You know, it's got a. You're right. There's definitely
no human form in the frame.
Yeah, and I used to put a person in the frame in a landscape some way, like if I could, not per setup, but just by chance, right?
But you're saying your issue with this is you feel like it's...
I feel like it's set up, and I don't know. When I look at the photos where the person isn't in the frame and he hasn't bothered to get that, either is made to do it or by chance, whatever, it doesn't really make any difference, to be honest, really. But I just think the images are much more powerful without that person. I get distracted by, like, I don't know.
But you could go, it's cliche to not have a person. You could go like, a photo of a tree. I feel like
it's personal taste, though. You must have a would you know?
No, I don't know. I think
because I think what it does though is questioning what you like and how you would take a landscape photograph. Right? I'm dissecting like the questions. Like now you've seen this book, and
so like, what's the intention? Because I think that's the question I would ask: is what's the intention? Does the person in the photograph add anything to the story? Like, so where was the one that I really liked with the car in it? That one. So like without the person in it, it's a landscape and it's a beautiful landscape and it tells a story. But does the person add anything to the story? Do they bring anything new to the story that they don't by being absent?
I kind of think it...
If the answer is yes...
I think it kind of does.
Yeah, if the answer is yes, then I think it achieves what it's setting out to achieve. Whether the person's placed there or,
It adds a bit of a question mark, right?
Yeah.
Why is this lady in a red coat in the woods at night? Like it is, I don't know. I'm not saying it's like, I feel, do you know what? So let me ask you a question. You said, do you have a preference or what's your preference? I don't have a preference.
No, I don't have one.
I just feel differently about the two of them and I don't
if you were going to, maybe ask you a different question. If you were going to make your own landscape work tomorrow and there was an opportunity to have a person in the frame of the landscape, versus not having a person in the landscape frame? What would be your choice? I think, like, what I'm trying to say is, I think this will work. I think when, I don't know. I think I've been absorbed by so much Instagram of this landscape, single person, beautiful frame. You know, there's a lot of it, right? You don't have to go far.
Is that the thing now?
Yeah, it's like
I think I kind of checked out of Instagram when the thing was silhouettes.
Like it's heavily
Are we not doing silhouettes anymore?
No, there's a lot of
not
saturated
so much.
single person
I think
in rugged landscapes. And look,
That's the thing now, is it?
I think it's perhaps the point which is does it add anything? If I thought putting a person in a particular photograph would add something, like the wheelbarrows, right? If that wheelbarrows photo had somebody pushing one of the wheelbarrows
holding
along,
one, yeah.
I think that would tell me something about
changes
and it would tell
the whole story of the photo.
I think I would kind of, in that particular example, that's got a narrative, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
but
don't
you
know
would-
why those wheelbarrows are there
But
unless
I'm not-
either somebody tells you, like we've just had the pleasure of, or if you see somebody using it for its intended purpose. And I
I'm
think,
not sure you get your missus to get one of the wheelbarrows and then push
all right,
something
but you
across the
might wait
landscape.
for somebody to come in
Yeah.
with their shopping from the boat.
And I might ask somebody if they would mind. So somebody who lives there who's got the wheelbarrow and is moving it, I might ask them if it's like, look, do you mind just being in this photograph? Because it adds context to the photograph.
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
it might not be.
That's fair.
'Cause you're
game.
talking about candid versus like posed, I guess, aren't you? Or like, is it intentional? versus, is it,
I'm not breaking it down like that. I'm kind of going authentic versus staged.
Yeah.
Right. So I could pose this guy. If this guy is my wheelbarrow guy, I could say, okay, I want you stood kind of here because this is where the light
This
is.
brings up, because you said portrait versus stage, bring down Doug Dubois. See it there, My Last Day at 17. I'll watch the Nick on. You can bring that over here if you want.
It's a very cheap paperweight you've got there.
I know, but because this is why this is so cool now. 'Cause this is a real good example.
We were looking at
We were looking
one
at
of Mr. Dubois. What was we were looking at?
the one with his
All the
family.
days and nights.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Let's have a look through the work, boys.
God, it's incredible, isn't it? This is, if I could shoot like that, I'd be happy.
Do these I've not seen this one before. Do these panels tell a story continuously through? Them?
Yeah.
Can you still buy this book? Is this?
No, you have to. I got it secondhand. It was like 100 and something quid.
It's lovely, but I can't be doing it.
No.
Is there any standout thing you want to show us? Because I don't want to have this turn into like.
Just have a look at a few more portraits. Have a look. Just have a quick flick through. Because my question, I'm going to ask you the question now. You probably know the answer to it already anyway. But you know, like, all of this is like mock documentary, right?
Well, is it?
Well, this is the question, though. No,
Is it?
This is your stage. This is your. Because he did stage all of these photographs.
Yeah, but okay.
So he set them up. He got the people. He dressed them. He had them, all of them styled. Everything they were in. He chose the locations. He asked.
But they are really people from this place.
So they're really people from this place.
But he's dressed them.
Yeah,
They're not
dressed
wearing
them.
what they
He
would.
talks
normally
about it online really openly. He's like a professor in one of the
wear.
universities.
Yeah, no. He's amazing. I know who he is. He's incredible.
But it does it? It doesn't. It's still the
So
fucking.
is this shot across different countries? Because
No, it's all in Northern Ireland.
He's American, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's Canadian. Or he's
Canadian.
yeah. But he was teaching, and when he was asked,
Right.
he asked one of the staff what's to go and do, and he basically embedded himself in this community. But he didn't. He did
stay with them, didn't he?
He stayed with them. Like he was there for years, I think. But then, yeah, he basically did this book. But he staged everything, basically. Yeah, which is amazing, right? If you think about that, if you think about that for a minute, like what does he mean? He staged them. He thought about the frame before he took the photo.
So he's put what, fake blood or something on this guy? Or?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's real. That might be a real tattoo. I don't know, but I think.
I guess that's what it's doing, right?
Exactly,
it's making you go, what out of this?
But isn't that what's coming, right? Like that's the point I was getting to. That's where we are heading, more so.
like the idea of being authentic and having that as a pole that you stake your career on. Like I'm not going to fucking use AI to.
I mean, currently, listen, I don't have any massively strong feelings about it one way or another, but currently I wouldn't use AI like to contextually alter a photograph because. And I've tried recently. We were just looking at some photos last night. And there was one where I had some traffic cones in the background and they're quite big in the frame. And I'd like given myself enough space to remove these traffic cones and I did it. And I was just like, it feels like there's something that's missing from this space now. And I just think even with the rubbish traffic cones, like it just, I don't know, it feels right to have the thing in there. And every time I remove anything, if I remove like a water bottle and stuff, I've done this so many times, and every time I'm like, it doesn't make the photo any better, so I always just delete it out.
So this idea of whether it's like staged or real. So there was a story about these girls. They were twin sisters, and they made they made this photo of fairies in the garden, basically.
The old Victorian one.
Yeah. And basically they kept it a secret for 60 years, and basically they faked the photograph. Basically, they made cutouts.
Yeah, they were made out of paper cuts.
Yeah.
So I guess, what do you mean by authentic?
Right, that's the point, right?
That is the point. I think for me, authentic is I think those
is it authentic to the place? So these people that he staged, are they from the place?
Are they from the place?
But they're not dressed. If he's dressing them,
he's dressing them.
If Doug is dressing them, it kind of means that it's slightly less authentic. Sorry, buddy. Can you just move that closer to you?
Sorry. Yeah.
It kind of means that there's something about it that isn't quite authentic. And I think the authenticity line, if it was a line in the sand, is a really fuzzy one, right? It's not a definite, this is authentic, this isn't, right? Because this is, in some way, it's authentic. Had he left them dressed as themselves and didn't mess with the frame a little bit more, it'd be more authentic. But that's not to say it's not authentic now. But these people really live here, and they do look like they belong in the landscape.
They do, don't they? They That's the bit that's really hard to get your head around, actually. When these people dress like this anyway, and he dressed them like this because they're from this place and that's what he's seen other people wear. Or
it feels like it's almost like he's making a film or a TV program, but in still frames, right?
Yeah.
So, if you look at Shane Meadows and Shane Meadows films, like Romeo Brass and stuff like that, they're authentic because they tell the story of the place that they take place.
Right.
And they tell the story of the characters that live in the places that is. So, he writes about Nottinghamshire and he writes about council estates and that kind of like that sort of environment. And he makes films around that. So they're authentic in the sense that they tell the story of
a real place.
His story, though. His story of a place.
Well, but he grew up in that place. So yeah, probably, he's not from that place. So you could argue that. But I think there's an element to this where you go, if it's not changing the story of the location that he's in, if he's living there, if he's getting to know the people, if he's not turning them into something they're not, then it's got a degree of authenticity. Then I think it's fine. I think it's lovely work. It's amazing work. I think the photographs are beautiful. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, special.
It doesn't.
Isn't it?
I think knowing that he's dressed the people doesn't devalue the work for me.
No, but because of who he is, he's also there's a bit of a self-awareness. Like he knows idiots like us are now going to sit and talk about this work and try and
there's an
try and
intelligence
figure out
behind it, isn't it?
There's
another layer to it, which
he's not answering the question for you. He's not saying.
Well, on my first look, you see, I was really convinced that it was documentary work. Right, that if you look at it cold, I think that you would take that. I don't think you'd think these photos are staged, would you? Like,
no, they showed us this was a whole conversation we had at uni. Like they used this book or this project as a bit of a conversation about what is documentary photography, where are the lines.
Yeah.
And I think I've obviously thought about this for 3 years. like really in a way that I don't think I would have ever thought about it before. And I don't know, the more I think about it, the more I think, I don't know that there is an answer. It's authentic. It's clearly authentic. It feels right.
It's fluid, I think, as well.
But it doesn't, I couldn't argue one way or another where that line actually is. Like, what is it that you change about something?
I think what matters is your integrity and your honesty about what you're doing. And like he's been like now, like imagine this work. Let's give you a hypothetical. Imagine Doug Dubois never told anybody that he set these shots up and he dressed people and he'd purely...
Or alternatively, he was trying to actually pass it off
as documentary work,
yeah.
purely that, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then it somehow came out. They would be all hell to play, wouldn't they? People would be like, oh my God, you know, this guy...
But that wouldn't have been the point of the project. The point of the project wasn't, look how pretty I can make a documentary project. No. The point of his project is to say, where's this line?
Well, I also think is how easy you can be manipulated and how easy we can believe a set of photos. In like I said to you earlier, like that the other book that what's his name, Daniel Arnold book.
Yeah.
The first look I had at that book, I was like, sorry, the first time I looked at that book, I was like, God, this is not very good. I don't like this work. This is bang average. But and then I spent a couple of days with it, and I lived with it for a bit, and I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. And I think there's like that idea of the first impression. You look at something quick without giving it much time. And it's easy to dismiss something like that. But the more time you spend with the work, then obviously the deeper and you begin to see.
It's like any art, right? It's like anything creative. It's like any album that you listen to. You can listen to an album first time and think it's nothing special.
Yeah. And it grows on you, doesn't it? It attaches itself to you.
You kind of unwrap it, right?
And actually, I think good album, like for me. So if we take music, for example, I think good music does that. I think
to a point, though,
pulls you in.
To a point, I think you kind of need to do what Doug's doing here as well. Right. Then there needs to be something that you can immediately grab onto and go, oh, this is really cool. I like this. So it warrants a second listen. Yeah, or it warrants a second return.
It's worth my perseverance.
Right.
It's worth me.
And then every time you hear it, you uncover something else about the thing. Like, did you ever listen to Tool?
No, I don't think I did.
Like a 90s rock band?
Still going, but yeah,
they're still going, 90s, right?
They're like prog metal type.
But they're incredible. They're incredible, and like you can go really, really deep on what the singer's singing about. The music itself is very clever. It's very layered. It's very textured. It's all in like crazy complicated time signatures that you'd need a calculator to figure out. It's just incredible, and the band live are next level good. But it's one of those things that every time you come back to it, there is something the first time you listen to it, you're like, this is really cool. But every time you listen to it after that, for decades afterwards, you'll be like, oh, I've never heard that.
I have to go and put my children to bed now.
This is as good a time to wrap up as any. I think we've started and stopped about 3 or 4 times. But this is really good. We're really looking forward to coming back and doing more stuff like this. We're also going to do stuff out and about. We're going to go for a little photo walk tomorrow.
Yeah.
We need to figure out where we're going. Maybe just down to the river, take the dog out for a walk.
Down to the river, but take the dog out for a walk. I think that's the plan.
That's the plan.
Yeah. I think that sounds like a nice...
And we're going to try and get these out, let's say every... a thing like this, maybe every month or so. Yeah.
That's a good...
We'll descend back in here.
Yeah, we'll be...
And we'll see you guys in about a month for another episode of the Idle Hand Society podcast. Like, subscribe, press the bell notification button, and tell us about the thing you were listening to.
Story.
For the chicken nugget. So for the chicken nugget photo book competition.
Yes.
Paul's promise.
The best poo story wins a special 9 nuggets.
9 nugget, 9-pager.
9-page book with nuggets and maybe some fries.
Excellent.
You heard it here first.
Ow!
See you in a month.
See you in a month. Pot pickers.